Figure out what I'm doing. There we go. Hi. This is going to be a little bit of a different live, maybe. I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it exactly. But um, I feel like there's a lot of things that I need to get off my chest, per se. Um, so I decided to kind of put it all into one live. I'm obviously over on YouTube where I always am, where I continue to be. Um, but if anybody happened to see a video that I put up in a moment of weakness earlier, I put it up to take accountability, not but for me, but for everyone. And my husband talked sense into me. He said, look, you know, like it, love it, leave it, whatever your feelings are about me. Um, the one thing that I can say that I did wrong that may have started all of this, um, to an extent, is the fact that I did not talk and tell Fancy what I was going to do before I did it. Okay. And I've taken responsibility for that on numerous occasions, that I should have spoken to her before speaking to the world. And for that, I was not right. I've also spoken to her as to why I did it that way. What she had done had triggered me immensely due to my past with Ember and the fact that and other pasts of things and that people have done to me. And the only way that I knew how to walk away was to blow up the bridge I was standing on. And that night, regardless of what anybody thinks or feels, I did it respectfully. I even cried about losing my friend. Okay. What spiraled on from there, however, is not my fault nor responsibility. I've taken responsibility for what I've done, which was to blow up preemptively due to being triggered by PTSD. And whether or not you understand the markings of PTSD and what it can make you do when you are triggered, um, I can't say it was my finest moment. I can't say it was my best hour. I can't say it was anything. Um, but I did what I did in a moment of being extremely triggered. And I can't take back how I acted that day. Okay. I can't. You can't go back in time. Okay. However, this live may upset quite a few people. I'm fully aware it's going to upset a few people. And honestly, I'm okay with that because I've learned a few things in the past 24 hours that I realized I learned, and then I learned a lesson on top of it. So basically, what I want to say is this. First of all, I want to start this live with stating for anybody who very incorrectly misconstrued the live that I had yesterday. For some reason, people felt the need to go tell Bree that I was blaming her for the account that wants me to go off myself. And I don't believe it's Bree behind it. I never did. I never said it did. I said she was associated with people that I believed was behind it. Okay. I do not believe she's the one that did it. And I've already spoken with her to reiterate such. I never said she was behind it. I said she associated herself with people that were behind it. And I truly believe that. However, hi. That being said, now that I've gotten that out of the way, I told her that I would tell people that reiterate what I said yesterday's live, which was not that I blamed her for the page that is very obviously trying to get me to do some type of self-harm. She does not feel that she is involved with the person behind it. Now, I cannot say for a fact whether she is or she isn't. I have my own thoughts. Okay. I've spoken at length with numerous people at this point of people that I have had issues with since the beginning of 2024. And since the beginning of 2024, I have met a myriad of people on this app that I have had some type of drama with. I guess I'm going to attempt to address most or all of them, possibly all together, possibly in subsets. I'm not exactly sure which. I've come to realize through many people that I am a person who always wants to make nice. I always want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I always want to make excuses for people that don't need to have excuses made for them. I always apologize for everything, even things that aren't my fault. And I try to take accountability as much as I can for things that I do. As I have said, in the beginning of 2024, I met Fancy. And as you guys watched it all go down in a ball of flames, I will say that the first strike that was sent was by me in a PTSD moment of being extremely triggered by that day and what I felt went on that day. Fast forward to a couple of weeks ago through a very strange happenstance. Fancy and I spoke at length for a couple of days. And we kind of rehashed that day. And I can see, honestly, her confusion. Not going to lie. But I also explained what happened and why I did it. You can't really control what happens when you are having a PTSD episode. And I've only had a few of them, luckily. But that was one of them I was having that day. And while I probably could have handled the situation with a cooler head, I didn't. I'm not going to apologize for having PTSD nor being triggered. I have a person to thank for that particular diagnostic, and you guys all know who that is. Today's not the day for that necessarily, unless it happens upon later. Hold on one moment. Hey, tap dancer, chill out. She's tapping in there. Anyways. To expect me to have to apologize for a mental illness per se would be asking me to apologize for having seizures. I can't control what mental illnesses I have. And in that moment, I couldn't even control what I was doing. Looking back now, I wish that it wouldn't have affected me the way it did, and I wish that I wouldn't have lashed out as completely as I did in the way that I did, and at least would have given her the heads up. But that moment of triggering was not going to allow that. So I've been very open with the fact that I surround myself with people that don't necessarily have my best interests, and essentially prey on the fact that I am gullible, that I am easily breadcrumbed, and that I basically believe everybody and everything that they say, which is why a lot of you have seen or think or feel that I have flip-flopped here, there, and left and right. And to anybody who was looking on the outside, I can absolutely understand why you would think that. I went from Fancy, I went to Christy, I went to here, I went to there, I've spoken to Bree. I reached out to Thea today. I'm sure you'll read my text messages on her page. I have thought long and hard about things that I have wanted to say today. And originally I made a video that was up 10 minutes, and yet somehow, even though my stuff doesn't get a whole lot of views, I feel like more people needed to see it than needed to see it. And people took what I said and I don't know, used it, applied it where it didn't need to be applied. What that video was about was the fact that I was brought in to something that I did not ask to be brought into, and that a lot of people have been hurt along the way. And unfortunately, the way that it came out and the way that I did it honestly gave a lot of leeway to the people that were involved that were also wrong along the way. Whereas I said that I definitely understand where the shots were fired for my PTSD, I do believe that the way people in general handled everything from there on out was problematic. And me being me, I've never been one to shy away from confrontation, although I really hate confrontation. Which I'm sure surprises some of you considering my demeanor. I'm not a confrontational person, believe it or not. It makes me cry. Give me one moment. Ouch. Sorry about that. Anyways, I thought I heard a noise. All right. So I've spoken to pretty much everybody at this point, trying to I don't even know at this point, to be honest. I've spoken with a myriad of people over the past 2 weeks, and you know, I feel like I feel like people try to play me a lot. I feel like people use my I feel like when people are on the spectrum, I can't speak for everybody on the spectrum, but I can speak for people like me that trust too easily, give too many chances, and are easily breadcrumbed. And I've made no bones about I'm all of those things. There's been a lot of ugly shots fired in the past 6 months by so many creators to other creators. So many different shots fired. There's people's works being called, there's CPS being called, there's lies being put out left and right about this person and that person, and nobody has any proof of anything to anywhere of every accusation that has been put out there towards creators. I've not seen a lick of proof of any of them. I've not seen, I've seen allegations, name the creator, they've had an allegation. Let's just be real. And to be honest, for every allegation, there's never one goddamn receipt that falls behind it. Everybody's so busy trying to pull everybody down and stoop to their level, and bullies are bullying bullies and thinking that two wrongs make a right. And I've come to a hill with a lot of people I consider my friends, people that I've considered allies, people that I've come to care about. And I have been coming to a head with a lot of people recently over my views of what I consider right and wrong. As I've always said, I've always been black or white. I don't understand gray. What's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And a lot of people think that these bullying pages are okay because, well, they're bullying people who are awful, and somehow that justifies it. And the hill that I'm going to die on that aspect is, you can't say that bullying is wrong by bullying. You can't. You can't tell a child not to hit while spanking them. You can't. You just can't. It doesn't make sense. And when there's these pages out there that are going after creators, and saying and giving the justification that they're okay because the person is not okay, I'm never going to get behind that. I'm not. And I've fallen on some definite strife between me and some of my friends. As you guys know, I know people who run pages. I don't agree with them. And no matter how many times I say this, it falls on deaf ears, and we have to agree to disagree. Because a lot of people on social media believe that they have a platform and they can do whatever the hell they want with it. Everybody else's feelings be damned. I will never justify a page that purposely sets out to hurt someone, whether it be pictures drawn on or faces drawn on or likenesses made or videos done or whatever. I do find a little bit of a difference in people taking actual videos of people and showing contradictions, because trying to show the truth is always important. Now, if people want to take my videos and try to show inconsistencies, I mean, I would rather that happen than for people to just outright do vindictive things and pretend that they're getting vigilante justice, because that's about all that's happening at that point. Is they're trying to two wrongs make a right type deal. I was snowed yesterday. I've been snowed quite a few times, let's be real. I feel like every time I start to sway to a side, because this person says this and I sway here, and this person says this and I sway there, and then I try to stay in the middle, and then somebody says something and I sway a little bit that direction and I sway a little bit this direction, and I feel like people play off of that. I feel that people know that all they have to do is say the right words, say the right phrase, and I'm going to suddenly see their point of view and see their side and understand. But one thing my husband pointed out to me today, because while I was busy being swayed in a direction again, is I have to remember what was done in those times that I wasn't being swayed. There's been times that I have been for the Blanchards. There's been times I've been against the Blanchards. And there has been times I've been for Fancy and I've been against Fancy. There's been times I've been for Brie. There's been times I've been against Brie. There's been other times with other creators. But those are the three that I have the most experience with. And while what I'm about to say is going to sound fairly negative to those involved, I'm saying it to state a fact. And whoever's feelings it's going to stomp on, I'm sorry in advance. But this is my feelings and this is my truth. And anybody who wants to argue with it, go ahead and argue with it because I'm done. I'm tired of shutting up, and I'm tired of rolling over, and I'm tired of allowing myself to be swayed to this position, to that position. Um, the truth is of the matter is that along the way, I may not have acted the right way in situations, mainly due to hurt. Mainly due to hurt. And and putting my trust and my care into people that I don't believe ever trust or cared about me. Now, I've been told by different people that that wasn't the case, that this person cared, that that person cared, yada yada, but actions speak louder than words. And you can tell somebody you love them all day and all night, but if you are giving actions that do not line up with your words, then your words are pointless. You know, I was told a lot of things, and I've seen a lot of things. And this morning, I was ready to forgive a lot. I was ready to really try to forgive and forget a lot of things. And then I realized a lot of things, and my husband pointed out a lot of things. And I feel like every time somebody tries to sway me to a position, I suddenly just realize that, hey, this didn't happen. Hey, this person didn't do this to me. Hey, that wasn't as bad as I really thought it was, but it was. And I realized that it came to my knowledge that apparently, um, supposedly, I don't have any proof, and I don't have any proof, and this is her fault. I don't have any proof, and it's her fault. Let's just call a spade a spade. But when me and Christy parted ways, or I was tossed to the curb, or whatever rhetoric you decide to believe, I was ghosted. And I was ghosted while I was deserving of answers. And I was very forceful in the fact that I deserved answers because I goddamn well did. I deserved answers. I deserved answers of defending people to a point that I had a target on my back so large that I was getting hate communities and discords and snark pages, all on my back because I decided to take up for what I thought was my friend. And when times got tough and that friend had to decide what side she was going to, she chose the wrong side. Now, apparently, she knows that now. Apparently, she knows that the whole time that I told her that Jasmine was a horrible person, she didn't want to listen to me. She didn't want to believe it, whatever the case may be. She didn't want to believe it. She didn't see it. She didn't want to see it. She didn't want to believe it. I don't know. But I tried telling her Jasmine was bad news. She didn't want to listen. And when I finally thought I got through to her, by that time, apparently Rod was pissed and had blocked me on Facebook. And Christy said she was going to fix the problem. She was going to fix it all. I was a good friend and I was always there for her, yada, yada, yada. Same shtick I always got. And apparently during those few days between I'm going to fix it and being blocked entirely and ghosted, there was conversations had between people, and apparently Christy didn't know what to do. She cared for me, but she didn't know what to do. And I had told her friends along the way that exactly what she could have done, which was if Rod was that mad, she could have said, hey, you know what? My husband's really upset. Give it some time to cool off. Hey, my husband's really upset. I can no longer continue this friendship. Do I even know that Rod was the one that was upset? Honestly, no. It was set over text message. Anybody can text message. It was a shared account. I have no idea. He did text me while I was on the phone with her. I didn't see her fingers moving, so I'm gonna assume it was him. I don't really know. Um, but I understand. I'm trying to think of the right word without saying the word that I'm thinking of. But I understand picking your spouse, obviously. Um, but what I was owed as a human being, as a person who put myself out there, and whether you or not you believe this or not, or feel this way or not, I was owed an explanation. I was owed an explanation to not be ghosted, to have the respect as a human being who had put myself on the line in a very public venue, to have the respect and the decency to be told what the hell it was that I did to be ghosted. Okay. Instead, I was ghosted, and the person that I warned everybody about apparently went off the deep end and is continuing to go off the deep end and has basically alienated everybody around her. But, karma's a bitch. I remember saying that before. You remember me saying that before. I'll get to you later. Um, and I got told that it was never she never manipulated me. She never had ill will towards me. She really loved me. She really cared about me as a friend. But I ask you this: if she ever cared about me as a friend, would she not care enough to give me the answers that I was owed and the goodbye that should have been required for closure? Okay. If she cared that much, if she really cared and was really a friend and ever cared about me in any aspect of the situation, would she not give me the answers that I was owed, and would she not give me an explanation? But she chose not to do that. She chose to pick the person who was causing all of the drama, all of everything. And so I have a hard time believing now that that particular situation is true. She could have texted something, she could have anything. I don't fucking know. Um, Hold on, I want to see that one real quick. Okay. Um, when all of this started, when I was with Fancy, the whole other side reached out to me within 2 days. And call it fishy, call it coincidental, call it somebody reaching out for support. I don't know. I don't know why they all texted me. I don't know. I've heard stories. I've heard stories that I've heard so many stories of how Christy fell in my lap. I've heard Thea sent her. Christy told me she was watching me back from Fancy. I've heard so many theories. Planty Bunny actually put us together, technically, according to the text messages. Um, but somehow we came together, and for a brief moment in time, I thought we were friends. Um, and as I do, I very publicly shared with my followers and my friends what was going on in that relationship, much like I did with April. Now, I made a point to say to my husband, well, maybe I shouldn't have done everything so publicly. And he said, why? You've spoken the truth on all of it. It's not like, you were downgrading their physicalities or whatever. You've spoken your truth from how it has landed on you. And why are you apologizing for that? Now I did see Fancy come in here, and I'm sure that she definitely would have words on how she feels I portrayed her. We've had a conversation. We've had conversations in the past little bit where we both know that we haven't necessarily portrayed ourselves in the best light, and she can say because she felt slighted about what I did, and I know that it was definitely due to what I feel she did. And the whole situation from there just went messy. It was tit for tat, constantly all the way down the line. I know that me jumping the way I did, which I again, I can't help PTSD, hurt her, as it would. But then I feel her actions were above and beyond, and I've told her that. So then I went, and then she went, and then I went, and then she went, and then it just got uglier and uglier and uglier and uglier. As for Christy, did she get on here and mudsling me? No. Did she allow a person to have access to all of my text messages? Did she allow a person to then use those text messages on a live with the creator that had been gunning for me? She didn't stop her. She didn't stop her. You know, you don't always have to go on the offensive to still be doing the wrong thing. Because if you're not stopping something, you may as well be ordering it, in my opinion. And you can disagree, that's fine. But she didn't have to get on here and downgrade me or call me a liar. Bree did a great job of that. And that's just my view. I feel like, you know, what happened between me and Christy was between me and Christy, and no amount of text messages or one side of hearing things is going to ever have the full picture. And I feel like I was attacked from go on that situation. Now, whether or not Bree meant to attack me, that's only in her mind. I don't know. I don't know where, necessarily where she was coming from when she spoke on me and Christy, because she didn't have the full picture. And it frustrated me extremely, because to feel gaslit about a situation and being told that that's not how something happened, or this is how something happened, or she was told this and saw this text message of that. But as a person who has been in an abusive relationship that has destroyed my mental health to a point that I have been very close to doing horrible things. Being gaslit is something that I can't deal with. I'm not going to have anybody, I'm not going to have Fancy or Bree or anybody tell me that I didn't experience what I experienced. And I've already talked to Fancy about the gaslighting thing and where I felt gaslit. And I talked in a live yesterday about how I feel that I was gaslit with Bree. I don't. Then, after I put up that video and I took it down, I got reached out to today by a person who, again, remains nameless and faceless, as they always do, as they always will be. Nameless, faceless people are the bane of social media. They're the people that can say hurtful words behind a keyboard without any ramifications, because we don't know who you are. We can't hold you to any level of decency as a human being, because you can say whatever you want, because nobody will ever be able to say, hey, Jennifer's a jackass. You can just do whatever you want to do. And hold on, I want to read this. Why are you giving these people so much power over you? They are nobodies to you. They are strangers. Apparently you didn't hear the whole beginning part of the live. So anyway, so a person reached out to me today, and they asked me to, again, this is not the first person. This is not the first person. This is the second person as of late to ask me to stop speaking about Amy. Now, if you go back in my lives for any amount of time in the past month plus, I've spoken about Amy on maybe 2 occasions. One of them being the fact of when I said, I know whose names I've had in my mouth, and I said hers. And the fact that I said that Planty Bunny sent Amy's profile to Christy and Journey sent Amy's profile to me the same exact day. Weird coincidence? I don't know. Anyway, I have not spoken on Amy and the situation between me and Amy in easily over a month. Easily. Shut up, Amy. Different Amy. And yet I have these people. Now, this person came to me very respectfully. Okay, I want to give them a shout out because if they are here or their friends are here, I want to say that this friend of yours actually came to me respectfully, unlike you. And they came to me to say very respectfully of, look out for Amy's mental health, et cetera, et cetera. But I just want to put something out there. And I don't know how I was coming across in text message because I know I can come across as kind of an asshole in text message. Not gonna lie. But it was rich to me to try to use my words against me. When I speak about the fact that, anybody's last day could be anybody's last day. And the last thing you want to say to somebody is something horrible or hurtful or push them towards doing something horrible. Like the website that is trying to get me to off myself. I appreciate you. Anyway, so they came to me using my words and saying, what is it you say, Ryan, about mental health? And what is it you say about, this and that? And here's the deal. What I say does apply to me, but it also applies to you and your friends. And what it boils down to is, and you asked me to stop speaking about Amy, which I did do over a month ago. And who the hell is AJ? Somebody just said AJ was your abuser. Who the hell is AJ? Sorry. I stopped speaking about her over a month ago, but I'm going to speak on it now. I'm going to speak on something now that is very frustrating to me. And I want to get that because I don't know how I came across on text message, but I want to say this and I want it for posterity because I'm taping this on YouTube. But it is rich to me that a subset of people who have spent months making Reddit page after Google group after Discord in my direction to ask me to stop speaking about someone when I'm on a live and I have asked repeatedly over and over. I've had to block these people and ask them to leave me alone, and they didn't. And they crashed my Discord server, and I told them not to, and I blocked them. And no matter how many times I asked this mob mentality to leave me alone, nobody listened to me. But now you're asking me to stop speaking about somebody that I stopped speaking about over a month ago because you're worried about her mental health. But were you worried about my mental health the day that I was having an absolute breakdown on live after your friends badgered me to the point that I was literally thinking about doing things to myself? Where was the concern for my mental health then? Where was when is it going to stop, Ryan? When is it going to stop? I don't know. When is it going to stop? Because have you guys calmed down? Sure. Until one day you don't. And yeah, your little websites have taken a turn and you're not really going after me anymore. You're back on Fancy and now you got Bree in your sights, and I understand that. But what you have to ask yourself is everything that you and your friends stand for. The whole reason that you guys are friends is because you have mutual hatreds. Mutual hatreds that you then spew onto social media, onto Reddit, onto Discord, onto Google pages, onto TikTok, onto YouTube. And then you ask me to stop doing what I've already stopped doing in favor of, well, that's what you said, Ryan. When's it going to stop, Brian? I don't know. When is it going to stop? When is it? Because I asked you guys to stop and you wouldn't. I asked you repeatedly to stop. I asked multiple ones of you to stop. I blocked account after account after account after account. And again, I'm going to reiterate what I have said numerous times, what I said numerous times in that text message, what I have said numerous times to Amy herself. I would not know who Amy was, except for the fact that she was a multiple troll on my account. And by multiple, I blocked her actual account. I blocked one that had her initial something in it. And then when she came in on Reddit court, so don't tell me to have multiple accounts. And when she was on Reddit, bashing me day in, day out, day in, day out, non-stop for a month or two. And then I'm supposed to feel bad because I saw a Facebook post of hers that was easily misconstrued based on its verbiage. It was easily misconstrued. And so I saw a text message, or I saw a Facebook message that absolutely, by the wording of it, looked like she abandoned her kids. Okay? It did. And you can see all the text messages because Pink Sands so graciously put them up on the Wambulance, one of the sites that's against me. So go feel free to read them. I knew that they would be posted somewhere. And she was upset that I put her Facebook out there, which Pink Sands did. posted the fucking Facebook. Good job. You're mad at me for doing it, but you can do it. Cool, whatever. And mad because my mods changed their pictures to Feet because her last name was Foot. So they changed their, they changed their profile pictures to Feet. That was the horrible grievance. My mods changed their profiles to Feet, and she was berated so heavily that and bullied so relentlessly with pictures of feet. Meanwhile, her and her crew named accounts after my dead animal, put pictures of my dead animal, and berated me about essentially murdering my dead animal, and want me to feel bad because my mods chose to put up pictures of feet, and that this is hurting her mental health. And this was 2 odd plus months ago that my mods put up pictures of feet for 3 days. Whereas her group of people have been coming at me with names, and they're still making them. And they'll still try to take it away and put, oh, well, that's not what I meant. They have one about my frog. First they had one about my axolotls, then they had one about my lizard, and now they have one about my frog. Except the axolotls were dead, and they thought that was okay to do. And then they put up pictures of my axolotls. And they said, well, they just really cared about the axolotls. I said, was it not evident enough when I was sobbing on a live while you were telling me that I murdered my pet because I went to work? Because I left them in the tank that they've been in for 2 years, and they got in a fight, and then I separated them. And because somehow 2 weeks apart after feeding them a new food, they both passed. It was my fault because I didn't take it to a vet who would have told me to do exactly what I was doing. That I was being called a murderer for doing everything I could for an animal. And for months, you guys berated me and watched me cry and sob on a live and be literally hysterical in one live, to the point that my husband called me and screamed, shut it down. Shut it down. But you guys didn't think that bullying was enough. You didn't think that was too much. But the pictures of feet are too much. Okay, got you. I can totally understand that. And and yes, I've already spoken to Fancy about her pot shot post about the hermit crab too, by the way. It wasn't even hermit crabs that died. But anyway. I love that in all of this, what it always boils down to is Ryan always is the one who has to turn the other cheek. I'm always the one who is asked, can you just leave so and so alone? Can you just leave so and so alone? I wouldn't have known who Amy was if Amy hadn't gunned for me. Period. End of story, end of discussion. I wouldn't have known who she was. And now, because my mods put up pictures of feet for 3 days, that justifies the behavior of talking about a dead animal. Cool. Got you. I'm supposed to always be the one to turn the other cheek. No one takes any accountability for shit. And I'm over here taking accountability for myself. I'm taking accountability for other people. I'm taking accountability and apologizing for myself. I'm giving benefits of doubt where I should not be giving benefits of doubt. I should not accept the fact that people put up pictures of my animals. Period. That was never okay to do. Never. To every single person that did it, it was never okay to do that. I would never do that to you. And in the one post where I actually did show the post where Fancy's dog was having a seizure, I did that. And I took it down, by the way. I took it down because after I posted it, I realized, you know what? I know how it makes me feel. And I don't know the whole situation behind it. I do know, and I stand by, and I will stand by, no matter what, that dog was having a goddamn seizure. Get the fuck off alive. The other day, I was on a trauma live, and I was in the middle of the live. And are you not hearing me speak April's name? Not even just in this moment. Literally. I am literally speaking on it right now. I was on a trauma live, and nobody knows this. Nobody knows this. This is brand new information. You've never heard this. I'm just not getting ready to speak about it. I was on a trauma live, and for those of you that were in it, the trauma live stopped dead. I said, I gotta go. And I shut the live off, and nobody knows why. The live stopped because my dog fell down. And I had to make sure that my dog was okay. There wasn't, hey, I'll be back. There wasn't, give me a second. The live stopped. Dead. Done. Because my dog fell over. And guess what? I took my dog to the vet. Because, I don't take my dogs to the vet. And a couple $100 later, I found out why. He's fine now, by the way, for anybody who cares. Matter of fact, he's right there. He's right there. Yes, he is. I will stand by that. I will always stand by that. That my dog fell down and I shut a live off. No matter what it is, I think that live should have at the minimum been hold on, I'll be back in a minute. At the minimum. I will stand by that, and that is something me and her can agree to disagree on. However, regardless of what we think or feel, nobody in social media land knows whether or not she took that damn dog to a vet. None of us. We don't know. Nobody knows. And what it boils down to is sometimes people can't afford vets. And sometimes vets aren't going to solve the answer. They're just not. Sometimes all you can do is care for them the best you can. Not everybody in the world has $5,000 to fix an animal. Not everybody in the world has $500. And then people say, well, you shouldn't have an animal. Okay, so if your kid gets sick, you shouldn't have had a kid. Shut up. Financial situations change by the day, by the hour. What I got 5 years ago is not the same financial status I am in now. And for people who claim to know my financial status, is you don't. You have no idea what the hell I pay, what the hell I make, what the hell I do, and it's none of your goddamn business. But I will tell you this, for every person who wants to talk down about my bankruptcy, I am paying $20,000 in that bankruptcy. I didn't get out scot-free. I'm fucking paying that shit. And then you wonder why the fuck I'm broke. But anyway, sometimes you may take on a car payment, a dog, a credit card, a subscription in August that you lose your job and you're fucked in May. But you got that car and you got that dog and you got that whatever and you're stuck with it. And you do with the best you can. Did I take in a lot of animals at once? Yes. Did I take them in to save them? With the exception of 4 of them, 3 of which I brought with me from Michigan. Yes. Did I save them from shitty situations? Yes. Am I up to my eyeballs in animals and their care? Yes. Do I pay hundreds of dollars a month in dog food? Yes. Do I pay out the nose for these animals every day and everything they destroy? By the way, you want to hear a funny story? I got my Temu order yesterday, right? Super happy. Cool. I put it on the counter because I was worried because I was bringing my dog in from the vet. So I was picking up my dog and I was carrying him very gently into the office to make sure he was okay and feeling good. And I set my Temu package down on the cabinet that I'd been waiting for 2 weeks. And guess what? My dogs ate it. Because that's what dogs do. And you deal with it. But anyway, none of us know what the hell is going on with Fancy's dog. And you know what? To be God's honest, it's none of our business. It's not. And what's happening with my animals is nobody's business except for what I make your guys' business, except for what I want to talk about. And what abuse videos I show are not the full story. Those are not the full videos, and they're not to save my ass. Because if they were to save my ass, I wouldn't have been yelling in them. I wouldn't have shown me screaming in them if they were to save my ass. If I cut them to save my ass, I cut them to save her ass. I didn't post all of the videos, and I could have. But here's the kicker. So many of you that hate me because you have mommy and daddy issues. You hate me because you see yourself in those videos and don't want to be held accountable for what you do to your parents. So many of you guys hate me because I dared to stand up against my adult child who was abusing me. And so many of you, because you had a problem with your mom, think that I'm the issue. I hate to break it to you, but your situation and my situation are not the same. My person went to jail. I got a restraining order. This wasn't an argument we had. This wasn't her calling me mean. This wasn't anything other than someone who wanted me dead. And I don't think you guys understand that. And I've been receiving hate from people and say, well, I saw it off your videos. You didn't see the whole video. You didn't see the 5 years. You didn't see the fucking problems. You didn't see me sleeping behind a fucking locked door. You didn't see me bringing scissors into a goddamn bathtub to make sure I wasn't drowned. You didn't see any of that. You saw some videos to show you 5 minutes of a day in my life of somebody who threatened to lie to the police after she destroyed my house and threatened to kill my dog. And somehow I'm to blame. First, y'all bitch because I'm a liar. It couldn't have happened. So I show videos, and I'm a bitch because I didn't show everything. Because you guys aren't entitled to everything. I showed you to show you proof. You got your proof. But what you don't need to know is everybody's waking at fucking day. You don't need to be there when I shit, shower, and shave, okay? As a content media creator, we are here when we want to be. You see what we want you to see. And anything other than that is not your goddamn business. If you don't understand a situation that I'm talking about, or you don't get it, that's a you problem, not a me problem. And I don't owe anybody any explanations about a goddamn thing that has went on in my life. I don't owe you an explanation of why I needed $80 in case my dog died in the next 3 days and my paycheck hadn't hit. I don't owe you an explanation as to what the fuck happened with my grandson and why he was fucking adopted, but somehow that was on me. I don't owe you an explanation to every goddamn day that I sat here worried about my goddamn life to be blamed for it. I don't owe you an explanation about every one of my dogs, and I don't have to show you every fucking animal I have so you can put on your checklist that Ryan checked in because you feel that I don't do whatever with my animals. You don't have a goddamn idea what the fuck I do with my animals, how much I pay, how many hours I spend tending to them. You have no fucking clue. I'm on live for 2 hours a fucking day. There is 22 other goddamn hours in this day that you don't see. You are not a fly on my wall. You are a fly in my shit. The entitlement of social media to think that you are owed an answer is wild to me. That you think that you could demand to see my animals, demand to see my grandson when he was here, demand any goddamn thing. It is none of your business unless I want to put it out there. And if I talk about something and I'm vague about it, then I'm vague about it. I can say what I want to say, I can give what I want to give, and I don't have to give what I don't want to give. And I'm tired of being judged over a 5-minute video. I'm tired of being judged over shit that because you got mommy and daddy issues, I'm the problem. And I'm tired of people that I come on here every day and I'm real. I'm real. I will cry with you. I will talk with you. I will tell you stories from my past. I will talk about my mental illness. I will talk about my eating disorders, my self harm. I will talk about all of that. And you know what it got me, y'all? You know what it got me? I went on a live. You guys can go see it. You guys can go see it. I believe it was the July 19th one. It was a big one, guys. It's on YouTube, Ryan Lee TM. And I talked about the bullying pages and what it does to people's psyche, and about the fact that that bullying page may be the pen that drops, and that might be it. And I talked about the fact that I don't like my teeth, and I don't like my hair, and I don't like my weight. And the next day, within 24 hours, a site went up that was posted my face, very badly rendered in AI, on everything imaginable with fucked up teeth and fucked up hair and fat and everything else as a fuck you to me. Because I chose to be real. I chose to give you guys a part of me that you're not owed. And I chose to be real and I chose to be vulnerable. And what did it get me? Other than somebody who thinks it's funny to try to shove me over the edge, a person who has had self-harming for dozens of years, a person who's had eating disorders, a person who's had ideations, a person who is not okay mentally, and you get a laugh. By the way, when I went on the live the next day to point out what this person did, you want to know what their next post was? Need tissues? Because they laugh about it, because they think it's okay, and after this life there'll be more, guaranteed. Last time I talked about it, they put more. Because people think it's okay to sit behind am I reading a script? No, I'm talking, I'm on live on 2 different things. I have to tape my lives now because I have people that tell me that I say things that I don't say. So I record them on YouTube. I'm not reading a script, I'm looking down. So a creator is good enough that they are real with you. They are honest with you. They share with you on they share with you their ups, their downs, their good, their bad, their ugly. For what? Number one, to feel entitled that I should tell you more, or number two, to hold it against me. I've always prided myself that if I put out misinformation, I fix it. And I try to stay as absolutely honest and open as I can without putting myself out there to a point that I'm splayed on display. I love my followers, okay? And the worst part about social media is while you're trying to get out there and you're trying to reach out and you're trying to be a friend to people, you will find people that will use it against you in every way, shape, and form. Well, I've done nothing. I've opened my inbox to people who have bullied me, who have made pages about me. I just talked to one of them today. They were very respectful. And that's why I continued to have the conversation. I have said, if you have a problem with me, reach out to me and talk to me, and let's hash this out like adults. For whatever reason that you think that you have against me, let's talk about it. Because here's the weird thing about all of the hate pages and everything else. With the exception of the under 10 people that I speak to on a daily basis, and the one person on social media that I know in real life that I've hung out with, I've not done anything enough to offend any of you on a personal level to receive the amount of hatred that I have gotten. I have not explicitly went after any of you. And before Amy and her likes pop in, I would not know Amy if she did not come for me first. You poke a dog enough, you're gonna get bit. And that's what happened. She poked the dog enough until I bit. But that's how it is with any type of abuse or anything else. You are yelled at and you're yelled at and you're yelled at and you're yelled at, and the 1 minute that you yell back, you're, oh, look at you yelling. It's called reactive abuse, bitch. You poke and you poke and you poke and you poke till somebody explodes, and then they're the bad guy. But the guy doing it for the past 50 fucking years, he's not the bad guy. Yeah. Just like on those videos with my kid where I'm yelling. I am yelling. You know why? Because that was my reality day in, day out, every fucking day. Punching holes in my walls, destroying my house, destroying our holidays, beating up our fucking kid, threatening my life, threatening my dogs, and I had it. But y'all want to judge me over 5 minutes of fucking video that you asked for because you said I was a liar. Do you think you deserved the whole video? Do you think that I should just upload 20 minutes at a time of every fight that I was ever in? Because then I'm exploiting her. I'm a liar if I don't show it, and I'm a bitch if I do. Shut the fuck up. Exactly. Tammy was there. Tammy was there for all of it. She was on there on every fucking phone call. Every phone call. The phone call that I called my mods hyperventilating because I was under so much stress that I was hyperventilating. And that girl came in, ripped the phone out of my hand, shut it off, and said, "You don't need to talk to them," and walked the fuck back out of my room. She was there for that. And I was supposed to put up with that with a smile because she was my kid. You know what? I hate to break it to you, little Gen Zers. You can hurt the hell out of your parents, and it's not okay. Parents who have done nothing but put everything on hold for you. Well, that's your job. You know what else, though? It's called respect your parents. And if your parents tell you no, there's probably a fucking reason. And if you don't get the newest iPhone, maybe go work for it. Everybody rallies against their fucking kids. Everybody rallies against their fucking parents. You know what? I hope y'all have kids just like y'all. I really do. I really, really do. Or calling us crying from locking yourself in the bathroom with scissors. Yeah, that was a fun time. Y'all don't even, for those of y'all who've never ever had teenagers, you will never understand. And for teenagers who've never had teenagers, you don't fucking understand. You don't understand. And you won't understand until you have them. I've went through so much on this app, and this app has brought me happiness, and this app has brought me sadness, and it's brought me so much. And sometimes I want to leave it, and then I realize that, you know what, there's parts of it that I do enjoy, and there's people that I do reach. Do you know how many times I open up my inbox to people who tell me, thank you for talking about this, thank you for being there for me, you're the only one that I watch, you're the one who gets it. And it's those people I stay on this app for. And I don't know how many times, see, y'all don't get to be in the Traumalized. We have something called Traumalized. It's for my members. And the reasons why it's locked down is so horrible people can't just come in and peep and screen record and yada, yada, yada. You have to pay for that. But whatever. You know, Taylor Swift said it best. Lights, camera, bitch, smile. Even when you want to die. That is me a lot of days before I get on a live. I'm in my bed in a fucking curled up in my bed, unable to move, unable to pull my ass out of bed. Mental health in the fucking toilet, and I set an alarm and I get on here because I have those people that say, you know what, I don't have any friends. I turn you on so I'm not lonely. You remind me of my mom and I miss her. You keep me company while so-and-so's gone and I'm alone. I get my ass out of bed for those people. My own mental health be damned. Because people count on me. And one thing that I've always done and always will do is put everybody on the fucking planet ahead of myself. I've always done it. I will always do it because I'm not worth what other people are worth. I'm not asking for pity. I'm not asking for pity. I am telling you in my own mindset that if I was not here, it would not matter to me in my scheme of things. But then every while, somebody messages me and tells me something. And every one of those messages, my husband, I can tell you, my husband has sat in that chair and I will be crying and say, listen to the message I just got. Listen to this person who just said this wonderful thing to me. And I read every one of those messages and I cry to every single one of those messages. And I get on here every day. I appreciate you, Tammy. I get on here every day, regardless if I want to, regardless if my mental health can withstand it. I get on here. And to have people hate me for being me, for being real, for being vulnerable, for being whatever, for talking about my true feelings. And sometimes those feelings are not going to make people happy. But those feelings are happening because that person hurt me. That person hurt me and I'm allowed to feel hurt. Am I allowed to take it to the level that I took it to begin with? Like I said, I can't. That moment was so whatever for me. I was so locked in a goddamn PTSD moment in that time frame from all the times with Ember. I couldn't have stopped myself if I wanted to. I appreciate you, Krista. I'd appreciate you, Amanda. I appreciate you, Randella. Thank you, Kim. Um, I'm tired of being held to some type of other some other rule book. It is always, Ryan, turn the other cheek. I've ran out of fucking cheeks, bro. I've ran out. Think of Fancy's mental health. Think of Amy's mental health. None of y'all thought about my mental health. None of y'all. Y'all sat on here watching me cry and sob and fucking hysterical over the shit that was happening in my chats. And none of y'all thought, you know what? Scale it back just a bit. Don't post your dead animals. That might be a little too far. None of y'all thought that, right? But you come to me and tell me to turn the other cheek. I'm out of cheeks. I've had it. I'm done. Today, for the umpteenth fucking time in the past 2 weeks, Thea is out there messaging. I have gotten dozens of fucking messages of Thea going to people talking about me. And she has me blocked on everything. I got an account that I think it was blocked too. I found a sideways account of her and I messaged her and I went off. Thank you, Sue. I went off and thank you, Amber. And I went off. I said, you knew me 4 days and you went after me for 6 months. You have called the police to my house to say that I doxed you after you put my legal name on 3 different platforms. You've called my work. And she continues. And by the way, and this is the kicker, and I have the text messages. She will literally, in one side of her mouth, say, I have no problem with Ryan. I know it's not Ryan. And spin around in the same conversation and try to pin this on me or pin that on me. I have all the text messages, dude. Every person you have messaged has given it to me. I have the entire conversations with the people that you have. I've gotten umpteen messages. And I'm saying this for the umpteenth time. I am not Midnight. I am not the parody account. Everything I've ever said, you look at how much I offend people with my face. Literally and figuratively. Look how much I annoy and say things to people that bother people with my face attached. Do you think I need to hide behind anything to say what I have to say? No. Because I'm going to say it here. Because I'm done caring what people think. So I don't need to hide behind an account. This girl is so delusional that she thinks I gave somebody the password to the account to fake the account because it was mine. Be so fucking for real right now. Do I realistically think that what the parody account does is over the top? It's over the top. Okay? But I also know that the person behind that parody account knows more than all of us put together and has seen the damage that this woman has done to people. And I could name a lot of people on this app that feel that same way, that have had their work called, that have had the police called, that have had their mothers brought onto lives, that have had all these stalking and harassing allegations against them. And my friend wants it to stop. She posted my son's house. Thank you for bringing that up. I forgot about it. My brain is not okay. She posted my son's house. She called the police for me putting her information out after she put it out on 3 sites, my name. She put my son's house out there. My friend, the person trying to stop her, is she over the top? Yes. Is she doing it for a reason to stop her from doing what she is doing to all these people on the internet? Yes. This woman is out of control. She is messaging dozens of people, threatening them, accusing them of shit with no proof. She's coming onto her videos saying that she's got this involved and she's got that involved, and I'm on a watch list. I'm on a watch list. No, the fuck I'm not. That I'm being investigated by the state police who showed up at my door, said this is stupid internet bullshit, and left. She's putting it out there like I'm some type of a criminal, but if you background check me, I'm clean. She ain't. And that's the thing. She red herrings awful. She throws everybody out there because she doesn't want anybody looking at what she's done. How many freaking times? She's still due back in court. She's got a court case on her right now. But if she keeps pointing the fingers at everybody else, nobody will look at her. And my friend just wants to stop it. Yeah, she goes about it in a really strange, delusional, obsessive way, and I've talked to her about it. But it's coming from the right place. Thea's nuts. And God, for anybody else, if she reaches out to them, please let me know, because I'm stockpiling at this point. It is unreal to me. The lengths that this woman who knew me for 3 days has gone through. 3 days. 3 days I talked to this woman via text. This has been going on since the middle of January. And no matter how many times I told her to leave me the hell alone, she don't. The only time that you ever hear me talk about that woman is when I am screaming about her to leave me the fuck alone. I keep getting swayed back and forth, you know. I always want to give people 15 fucking shots. 15 fucking shots. They didn't mean it. It wasn't that bad. That's what happens. When you live in a home of abuse, that's what happens. You make excuses. You make excuses because you think they love you. So it's, they didn't mean it. They were having a bad day. Something must have triggered them. And you make those excuses for people day in and day out, and it spills into your normal everyday life until eventually you surround yourself with these horrible people that don't care about you. And you make these stupid fucking statements and you make excuses for them, and they know you're going to do it. They know you're going to do it. And they know that if they just send their friend or send this friend or make this post or pass this message, that you're just going to wipe it all away. And I do. I have. Every time I fall out with somebody, I fall out with them. I talk what I say, I post what I post, and then it's them somehow, some way coming around kissing my ass until I take down this, I stop talking about that, and I just shut the hell up because it's easier. Bye, miss. I appreciate the truths that I did with Fancy, because I feel like regardless of everything, regardless of the fact that we don't agree with each other's tactics or things in our lives or whatever, at least we can just agree to disagree and go the other way. Now after this live, I have no idea. But I don't feel like I slung mud in there. Everything that I've said on here, I've told her. So if she wants to take it some kind of way, I guess it's on her. I don't know what to tell you. I don't want to, quote unquote, sling mud at anybody. I feel like I've spent a good portion of my online presence defending myself. I'm not saying that I'm 100% innocent here, there, or whatever. I'm not always the victim. I'm not saying I haven't said a few shitty things. Nobody is 100% innocent or 100% wrong in anything. It's impossible. But most of the time, I'm on the defense. Good night, Amanda. So I wanted to come on a live, and I wanted to talk about. Hey, CJ, I came on this live, and I wanted to talk about everything that has been weighing on my mind, and the fact of, you know, people see the online me, which, by the way, is the real me. I'm not saying it's not the real me. It's not. It's not the full faceted Ryan. You don't know the person that I am online is a lot tougher than the person who is not in front of a camera. I can tell you that. Social media has put a hey Sar. Social media has put a shell on me, a tough exterior, but the person that I am when the camera's not on, I am like the softest person on the planet. Okay. Like I spend most of my time not even lying on TikTok crying about every video under the sun. Like that's all I do is cry on TikTok. Like my husband's like, why do you do this to yourself? But I try to be as open as I can be without completely exposing myself. And it sucks when you are open, you are vulnerable, you are truthful, and people use it maliciously against you. Like, I don't know what type of person you'd have to be like that. Because the person who is doing it, which by the way, don't worry, I'm not going to go off myself or anything. Like, I understand that you are doing this for that reason and to get the attention you so sorely desire by me talking about it. Um, I understand the whatever low sense self-worth that you have obsessively stuck yourself to me and tried to demean me. I don't know if you're upset that I have a support system. I don't know if you're upset that I have friends. I don't know if you're upset that whatever the case may be, that you feel the need to try to tear me down to make yourself feel better. But, and I don't mean this anyway, but you really need therapy. You really, really, really need therapy. To go after somebody to that extent, to make a point to try to get them to hurt themselves, and then when I make the point to say that you're doing it, to make a post, cry more. What is wrong with you? Like seriously, like I mean this genuinely. What is wrong with you? Who hurt you, dude? Because it wasn't me. Because like I said, and as I reiterated before, I know exactly how many people's names I have spouted on this app that I have had a beef with. I know exactly how many people I've had a beef with. And I'm going to venture to gain, it's probably not one of those people. I can't see a good portion of those people wasting the amount of time it takes to post 30 videos in 4 days in my direction. The people that I have had issues with on this app do not have that amount of available free time to make 30 videos of me in 4 days. I admire your dedication, but I think it would be better suited somewhere else on some type of a hobby that is not a middle-aged woman. A site on TikTok that I was talking about bullying and how it's not okay. So they made a site about me with all of my insecurities about 12 hours after I made it, essentially because I said that those type of sites can make people want to, their lives. And so they made a site about me 12 hours later with all of my insecurities, hoping that I would. And then when I called them out on it, they put a post of need tissues. So obviously they're trying to do something. apparently permanently to get me off of here. But I have had worse thrown at me because I know this is just coming from a pathetic, sad person that has nothing else to fixate on but me for whatever reason the case may be. And I genuinely hope, and I'm not being facetious, I genuinely hope they get therapy to find out what it is that makes them so hateful. Because I can tell you that hate is not going to get you very far. It's going to eat you alive. It's going to give you ulcers. It's going to give you heartburn. It's going to give you headaches. It's going to cause you stress at some point. Not to mention, one of these days, you're going to find somebody else to fuck with who is not going to put up with it. Me, I understand that hurt people hurt people. I understand that. And I understand that whatever you are doing and whatever reason you're doing it is because something happened to you at some point, and you are just passing the buck on to somebody else to help elevate your feelings of self-worth. But the difference is bringing me down is not going to bring you up. It's not. Because my life is not dependent on yours and your life is not dependent on mine. Because here's the deal. Let's say I do go myself, right? You're just going to find somebody else to do it to. Let's be real in the scheme of things. My life isn't dependent on yours and your life isn't dependent on mine. So I don't understand why you have made it your God's purpose to be as hateful as you have been. And I genuinely hope you get therapy. I mean that. I mean that. And honestly, if you ever want to talk to me, feel free. Let me help you. Somebody needs to help you. And I don't know if people just haven't helped you in your life. I don't know. I don't know. I cannot understand for the life of me what would make somebody so hateful. I don't. Especially a person you've never met. You have no idea who the hell I am when this camera is off. It's wild. But at any rate, I came on originally to say that I have fallen for a lot of stuff by a lot of people. And I've been sweet talked more times than I care to admit. And I've been told to turn the other cheek more times than I have cheeks. And I've apologized for things that I shouldn't have to be sorry for. But what I've never, ever weirdly heard is even if I come on here and take any type of accountability, even for one thing, even for the fact that I had a PTSD moment that I couldn't control, I still at least talk about what happened and the fact that it did happen from my mouth. But I've never, ever, ever once heard any person that's ever been afflicted with me ever say one goddamn thing about what they did wrong. I've never. And all the time, my husband's like, have you ever heard him say anything? And I'm like, no, honestly, I haven't. I've never gotten any type of an apology or any type of accountability from people that I deserve it from. People who have watered down my abuse, or worse yet, blamed me for it. When you weren't here, you don't know, and you don't even care to know, because if you did, you'd ask. You'd say, hey, look, these videos, they're a little something, what happened there? No, you don't even do that. Because I'll answer questions. I'll answer questions. Let me help you understand. I had a girl, not even kidding, I had a girl, and she was real affected by my videos, because she was a lot like Ember. She thought. I love listening to her talk now. But and she helped run one of my snark pages. And then she felt bad, so she reached out to me, whatever, and we had a talk. And I showed her all the videos. I said, just so you know, Here's some of the videos. And I sent her, I don't know, 15 of them. She called me back. She said, I am not like her. I know that. And we're good friends now. We're good friends now because she reached out to me to help make herself understand instead of just taking something at face value. She reached out. She wanted to understand, and I helped her to understand, and she walked away understanding, as they all do. I've never had somebody walk away yet that didn't understand. But I've talked a lot. My throat is dry. My throat hurts. It's only 6 o'clock. I did my live really early today. And if you're interested in this live for whatever reason, and you enjoy seeing me live and you're here on TikTok watching me, I'm live every day on Ryan Lee TM on YouTube. I come live on TikTok sometimes, but I get banned a lot from people who just don't want me on here. I've experienced it a lot over 3 years. So you can find me at Ryan Lee TM on YouTube. I'm here every day. There's replays of my lives. I record my lives because I've had so many people try to say I said this or I said that or I didn't say this or I didn't say that. And so I started putting them on YouTube where they're recorded and people can watch them and enjoy them whenever they want to. But being on live on TikTok is hard now because I've apparently got so many people up in a tizzy that I'm getting banned for things that don't even make sense at this point. I appreciate that. You seem the most down-to-earth and non-clout chasing. Please step back and do what you enjoy offline. I know, right? Thanks, Kelly. My feet are freezing. My throat is hurting. I may possibly, but not likely. I think I'm gonna go read my Hunger Games book, guys. I want to finish Hunger Games. I'm cold. I think I'm gonna snuggle up in my bed and go read some damn Hunger Games. I might play my game. I don't know. My feet are freezing. There's no reason for my feet to be this cold, y'all. My feet are frozen. Like they're little blocks of ice right now. And I'm gonna go make myself a strawberry liquid IV over a lot of ice. And I'm gonna chill out. I don't have COVID. Knock on wood. Where's some wood? There's some wood. I'm knocking on it. I appreciate everybody who sat here. I've watched my numbers stay at pretty much a steady rate. And I appreciate everybody who's listened to me today. And for those of you who are here because you genuinely care, I appreciate you. And those who are listening to me saying she's nothing but bullshit, I appreciate the views. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I am not everybody's cup of tea. I'm not everybody's cup of tea, but I'm somebody's cup of whiskey. So come subscribe to me on YouTube. Think about giving me a membership. It's what helps me with my Temu that my dogs eat. Anyway, TikTok, I'll talk to you later, TikTok. I need to smoke. I need a drink. I'm going to sit on here for a minute. My phone doesn't bother me. I'm one of those people, I like to have my phone on me just in case. Like, I am constantly at all hours of the day and night answering text messages of people or phone calls of people. I have been messaged at fuck all in the morning. I have had, phone calls at 4 in the morning. I've had all of that. Luckily, I keep a really stupid schedule. I am that person that you can call in the middle of the night because that is my daytime. Like don't try to get me at like 2 in the afternoon. Like I will be asleep usually. But 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm your girl. I'm awake. I'm here. What do you need? You never went searching for what either. It's okay. Like I will talk to you if like I'm okay. You're okay. Everybody's okay. Everything's okay. Get off that button. Oh my god, I can't read. I am. It's right here. I am right here. But I am feeling a little weird, not gonna lie. My throat is hurting a little bit and I feel a little like I don't know. I better not be getting COVID. Fuck you, dude. um the weather's just kind of shitty and I've talked a lot in the past 2 hours. I think my throat's just really dry. So I feel like I need to like drink a liquid IV. Which gift box did the dog? Oh no, they ate my clothes. They ate my clothes. I bought 4 shirts and a dress off of Temu and they ate 4 out of the 5. Yeah, I was on the phone and it was so hard because there was a person talking to me and I was ready to like scream and cry. I was so mad, dude. And they ate everything but 1 shirt. And I left to go get my husband and I came home and they ate a deck of Uno cards. I can't even make that up, dude. I literally called him crying about the fact that my clothes were all ruined. And we came home and they ate a deck of Uno cards. They had been sitting on the same table for like, we kept them there. We kept them there for like, I don't know, 3 months. And they ate my clothes and then they ate my Uno cards. And I'm like, what is wrong with you, dude? I was just so done. I was like, oh my God. I didn't even get to try the clothes on, nothing. They were still in the package. I came in, I had my dog in my arms because I had just taken him to the vet. So I came in, I didn't want the dogs jumping on him, he had just had a shot and everything. And so I came in, I had the dog in my hand, I had packages in this hand, and I put the dog in the room, and I put my husband's package in here, and I put my package out on the I had 2 packages. I was taking care of one. I set the other one behind me and I was going to go take it into my room, and I ADHD'd because I can't afford my meds. Completely forgot it was there and they ate it while I was on that live. So yeah, I was pretty pissed. I was pretty pissed. Oh, hello. At least they were egg noodles, dude. My dog ate clothes. I don't think they just shredded them. They have this thing with wanting to pull straps off of stuff, and they were tank tops, so they were like candy. No, they were not guilty. Sydney has not a thought behind her eyes ever. Sydney has ruined my entire house, dude. She just pulled a floorboard off of my dining room. Like when I say that, like I have absolutely like people like you don't even understand what I go through and what I have to deal with and how much. Oh Jesus, I don't want blood all over my shirt. Um, that what I go through and how much money I spend and fixing stuff. I mean, most people would have thrown these dogs out by now. Not even kidding. Her sister has calmed down. She has not. She's going to be a year old. She's just turned a year old. And her sister calmed down considerably, but she is awful. She is absolutely awful. She has ruined so much stuff. I cannot even, there's not even a list long enough for me to tell you. I bought a dog bed. I came home and a day later it was torn up. But for real, like my feet are frozen. My feet have been freezing for days. Like I get in the bathtub just to warm up my feet. So I really appreciate everybody who's stuck around. If you want to be super nice, you can always join a membership. There's Trauma Lives, there's behind the scenes. I'm getting ready to do some content. And I don't think my iron's low. I don't think it's low. I think I'm just freaking cold. It's cold in here. I'm getting ready to do some content that should be fairly interesting, though horribly shot. Horribly shot. I'm contemplating getting a camera, like a video camera. I'm just trying to decide if I want to pop the money because it's not that expensive, but like it's expensive enough to me. So like I'm trying to talk myself into spending the money, I guess. So I have enjoyed being with y'all, and I hope y'all have a good day. I am going to go bury myself in some blankets now. Bye.